Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I'm coming to you with another book review. I will be reviewing The Color of Family by Patricia Jones. Before I start this review, I do want to say that this novel was probably not the best choice of novel for me to read as my first read by Patricia Jones. It wasn't that it was bad. It just took a lot to read it. It seemed very, very, very bogged down with detail, and I don't know if her other novels are like that. But this novel was put together by members of her family based on the notes that she left. She passed away while she was in the process of writing this, so it was finished by her family based on her author's notes that she left behind after she died. The story follows a lot of people. I want to say the main character's name is Antonia, and there are a lot of other characters in the novel who have an important role in the novel. They're not like tertiary characters. There are a lot of secondary characters who have a primary role, and the novel is basically centered around the belief that the main character Antonia has that this white boy who has made it big in the music scene, in the classical music stage, as a concert pianist, is the son of her deceased twin brother by a white woman that he had in a relationship with when they were teenagers. That is put in the back of the book. I haven't given any more information in telling you that than what you would see by reading the back of the book. But the story is centered around her belief that this white pianist, or seemingly white pianist in her eyes, Clayton, is the son of her deceased twin brother, therefore her nephew, and the impact that belief and her obsession with that has on her family, her husband, her children, and what they think of themselves, how they perceive what is acceptable, what would be acceptable to her as their mother, and how they deal with that conflict. The novel it's a good novel. It's just a lot in it. I was not expecting it to be such a heady read. After I finished it, I was able to sit and piece and put everything together, because it took me over a month to buckle down and read it. But once I got past probably the halfway point, it really picked up. As you're getting to learn the characters, it really seems like you're reading this life, whereas really all of the lives are intertwined, especially when you're reading about her children. They're all intertwined, but they all have very different mindsets, very different ideals. So it's a lot to pull together and find the common thread, the common ground between all of them. So I will probably, not anytime soon, but I will probably read this again just to make sure that I got from the novel what was intended to be taken from the novel. I think I got it, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a thought-provoking novel about race, about how what you think or what we think, what we believe, our determinations, how they affect and impact those that are around us, whether we intend for them to or not. Sometimes the effect is negative, sometimes the effect is positive, and sometimes it's our thoughts, our ideals work against us in relationship to those whom we truly love with all of our hearts. So I think it's a very good novel. I would suggest reading it. I will say I will pick up another novel of hers first before I reread this, because I do want to read something else by her that was actually written in its entirety by her hand before I reread this again, to see if the way this is written is how she actually wrote. I think her family did a very good job in putting this together, and I couldn't imagine the task that they took up of having to put together the works of their sister, mother, having to take her notes posthumous and putting them together to complete a novel that is about the relationship of children with their mother, husband with this wife, and those kinds of things. So I think they did a very good job of putting it together. But I do want to read something else by her that would have been written completely by her hand prior to her passing. So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, simply because of how long it took me to read it, and that I had to sit and put together the novel after finishing it. I would suggest it if you haven't read anything by her. I would not suggest this as your first novel, but I'm saying that without having read anything else by her. So yeah, once I read something else by her, I will be able to make an actual call on whether or not it was just this novel that made it difficult for me, or if it's her other work as well. So yeah, that is the end of that review, and I hope you have a good weekend whenever you see this video. Peace out.